Man, what a night for the San Francisco 49ers. This was one of those games that reminds you why football is just so ridiculously beautiful. Even when the odds are stacked against you, even when injuries have decimated your roster, and even when you're considered a heavy underdog, the right combination of grit, execution, and a little bit of luck can turn everything around. And that's exactly what we witnessed on Thursday, October 2nd, 2025. The 49ers went to Los Angeles and stunned the Rams in an overtime thriller, 26-23, in a game that will be remembered for its sheer drama and improbability. Going into this matchup, the questions were obvious. How could the 49ers compete without key pieces of their lineup? Brock Purdy, Ricky Pearsall, Brandon Ayuk, Jawan Jennings, George Kittle, Nick Bosa, Malik Mustafa, all sidelined. That's not just a few scratches. That's nearly the core of your team, the players who define your identity on both sides of the ball. And yet, what we saw was a team that refused to fold, a group that refused to accept the narrative that they were overmatched. From the very first snap, San Francisco set a tone of aggression and urgency, dictating tempo and showing that even a depleted roster can rise to the occasion. Jones deserves a mountain of credit. This guy's been through the fire and then some. Coming off injuries, wearing that bulky knee brace, facing a defense that is legitimately one of the league's best, and yet he played like a man possessed. He threw for 342 yards, completed 33 of 49 passes, and delivered 2 critical touchdowns without turning the ball over. Every throw carried the weight of expectation, and yet he moved the chains, orchestrated the drives, and executed in the clutch moments when every yard and every second mattered. His toughness, his willingness to battle through pain, and his ability to deliver under pressure completely transformed the narrative for this team. And it wasn't just Jones. Kendra Bourne answered every single question critics had after last week's struggles. He had a career game, catching 10 passes for 142 yards, turning the lack of other key offensive weapons into an opportunity to step up and carry the team when they needed it most. Christian McCaffrey continued his evolution as a matchup nightmare, lining up in the slot, catching 8 balls for 82 yards and a touchdown, showing that this offense, even with a patched-up roster, can stretch defenses and create opportunities. When you watch the way Shanahan designed the plays, the use of McCaffrey, the creativity in the passing game, it's clear that strategy met execution perfectly, and the Niners were able to punch above their weight for essentially the entire game. The game itself was a roller coaster from start to finish. San Francisco jumped out early, dominating time of possession, controlling the pace, and building a lead that forced the Rams to chase. On the first drive, Jones was perfect, connecting on 7 of 7 passes for 77 yards and a quick touchdown. The Niners' approach was textbook underdog strategy. Strike early, establish the run-pass balance, make the opponent uncomfortable, and force mistakes. And the plays didn't stop there. There were blocked field goals, blocked extra points, and moments that looked like miracles, like Alfred Collins punching the ball out at the 1-yard line to prevent a go-ahead score. That single play alone is worth replaying 1,000 times because without it, the narrative of this game changes entirely. As the fourth quarter bled into overtime, every heartbeat felt like a drum roll. The Rams had chances, the Niners had setbacks, and yet somehow, every single moment seemed to bend just enough in favor of San Francisco. The rookie Marquis Siegel making the decisive stop in the red zone, that's a scene straight out of a movie. And then Eddie Pinheiro, calm under pressure, delivering critical field goals in clutch moments. The combination of special teams, defense, and offensive execution perfectly intertwined to allow a team missing some of its best players to achieve what should have been impossible. It was not just a win, it was a statement. Beyond the stats and the highlights, this victory has enormous implications for the season. San Francisco now sits at 4-1, controlling first place in the NFC West. The win proves that this team has resilience, depth, and the kind of mentality that can carry them through adversity. There are still holes to address, like the need for a consistent pass rush and a better running game. The offensive line continues to struggle, averaging just over 2 yards per carry. But for now, The victory is a testament to the collective effort and heart of the players on the field. It's a win that reinvigorates the fan base, boosts morale in the locker room, and gives this young roster confidence that they can compete with anyone, anywhere, under any circumstances. And when you think about the context, the travel, the physical toll, the pressure of being underdogs, what makes this triumph even more remarkable is how San Francisco executed. Kyle Shanahan's play calling was aggressive, inventive, and perfectly timed early in the game, setting up a tone that allowed his team to play loose, fast, and confident. And while there were moments when he got conservative, nearly risking the lead, the team's overall preparation and discipline ensured they capitalized on every opportunity. The balance between risk and reward, the willingness to go for it when necessary, and the ability to adapt in real time under intense pressure. This is what makes football magical, and the 49ers captured it all tonight. This game will be remembered not just for the scoreboard, but for the storylines woven into every snap. A backup quarterback leading a depleted team to victory, a rookie making a game-saving defensive play, a receiver answering last week's struggles with a career-best performance, and a special teams unit that redeemed themselves from prior mistakes. It's the kind of game that reminds you why fans invest their hearts into this sport. The unpredictability, the triumphs against the odds, and the sheer drama that unfolds over 60-plus minutes of action. Every fan, whether watching at home, in a bar, or listening on a radio, was treated to a masterclass in perseverance, resilience, and execution. Let's dive deeper into the individual performances because that's where the magic of this game really shows. Jones wasn't just a quarterback. He was the heartbeat of this team. Every throw, every read, every moment he stepped back in the pocket was a testament to his resilience and preparation. You could see it in the way he moved, how he protected the football, and how he made the right decision at the right time. Even after taking big hits, even after moments that looked like they could have ended his night, or even his season, he kept coming back. It's one thing to have talent. It's another thing entirely to have toughness and poise under fire. That's what Jones brought tonight, and it's why the 49ers walked away with a win that no one expected. His stat line tells one story, but his leadership, his calm under pressure, and his ability to elevate those around him tell another. Kinder Bourne's resurgence was a huge part of this win. After a rough outing the previous week, he came out and played like a man possessed. Every target, every catch, every route run with precision. It all added up to a career night. 10 catches, 142 yards, consistently moving the chains and giving Jones a reliable outlet when the defense came after him. That kind of performance doesn't just happen. It comes from focus, preparation, and a desire to prove yourself. And Bourne did exactly that, answering every question and helping the Niners' offense overcome the absence of other key players. His ability to stretch the field, win contested catches, and create separation was crucial in keeping drives alive and giving San Francisco the momentum they needed at every turning point. Then there's Christian McCaffrey, quietly continuing to cement his status as one of the most versatile and dangerous players in the league. Line him up in the slot, motion him across the formation, have him run routes that challenge defenders in coverage, and he thrives. 8 catches, 82 yards, a touchdown, and constant pressure on the Rams' defensive backfield. That matchup nightmare element is a coach's dream because it opens up opportunities elsewhere, forcing the defense to account for him and creating lanes for others to succeed. Watching McCaffrey in action is like watching a chess master play 20 moves ahead. He's always putting the defense in a position to fail, and that's exactly what happened tonight. But let's not overlook the moments that truly define this game: the defensive heroics and the special teams' brilliance. Alfred Collins punching the ball out at the 1-yard line in the late stages of the fourth quarter, that's a highlight you'll replay forever. For a rookie to step in and make that kind of game-changing play under that level of pressure, it speaks volumes about his instincts, preparation, and mental toughness. And then there's the special teams unit, which had a redemption narrative of its own. Eddie Pinheiro delivering field goals in high-pressure moments, including that game-winning kick in overtime, is the difference between heartbreak and glory. The blocked extra point, the execution and coverage, the ability to stay calm and focused, all of it contributed to a victory that was as much about collective effort as individual brilliance. Now, while the win is thrilling, it also highlights areas that need attention. The offensive line remains a concern. The running game struggled, averaging just over 2 yards per carry on 33 attempts. That's not sustainable if the Niners want to be a legitimate contender deep into the season. The defense, while opportunistic, will need to generate more consistent pressure moving forward, especially against teams with top-tier quarterbacks. And depth will always be tested when injuries inevitably occur. But for tonight, all of those concerns were overshadowed by the determination, creativity, and execution of a team that refused to let adversity dictate the outcome. The psychological impact of this victory cannot be overstated. A win like this, achieved in such dramatic fashion against a top opponent on the road, creates belief. It builds confidence that this team, even when challenged by injuries or tough schedules, can rise to the occasion. It's a turning point, not just in the standings, but in the culture of the roster. The players now know what they are capable of. The coaching staff knows how to maximize the talent at their disposal. And fans? They get to experience the kind of emotional highs that make this sport addictive. The energy that carried the team through the fourth quarter into overtime, the way they executed under pressure, and the collective joy after the final whistle. All of that is what makes football special. Beyond the field, this game validates the decisions made by the organization. John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan constructed a team that can adapt, overcome, and thrive even when key pieces are unavailable. Young players stepped up, veterans provided leadership, and the coaching staff put everyone in a position to succeed. It's the kind of organizational win that builds momentum for the entire season. You start to see the blueprint for success: resilience, creativity, depth, and execution under pressure. It's a model that can carry this team not just to the playoffs, but potentially deeper into contention if they maintain this level of performance. And the narrative of this game isn't limited to just wins and losses. It's about character, about toughness, about rising to the moment. Watching the Niners come together, cover for absences, execute critical plays in the clutch, and maintain composure under pressure is inspiring. From the opening drive to the final defensive stand, every player contributed to a victory that will resonate long after the scoreboard is cleared. Moments like Jones threading perfect passes despite injuries, Bourne dominating as the primary receiving option, McCaffrey creating chaos in the slot, and Collins making a career-defining play. They all tell the story of a team that refuses to be defined by setbacks. This game also serves as a litmus test for the mental toughness of this roster. Going up against a talented Rams team, staying composed in overtime, and executing under pressure is the kind of experience that can galvanize a young team. The Niners now have proof that they can win tight, high-stakes games, and that confidence is invaluable as the season progresses. It's not just about one victory. It's about cultivating a winning mindset, and this team did that tonight in dramatic fashion. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Rumors are swirling through the NFL like wildfire after word broke that Brian Burns, the electrifying edge rusher known for his relentless pursuit and game-changing sacks, has reportedly landed with the San Francisco 49ers. While nothing has been officially confirmed, sources close to the team hint that the 49ers defense might be about to undergo a dramatic shakeup, and the league's quarterbacks should probably start checking their blind spots. Burns, who has made a name for himself as one of the most explosive defenders in the league, is rumored to bring not just talent, but a swagger that can ignite an entire locker room. The idea of him lining up alongside Nick Bosa on the 49ers front line has analysts and fans alike buzzing. Could this be the combination that elevates San Francisco's pass rush from formidable to downright terrifying? According to insiders, the chemistry between Burns and the existing defensive stars could turn ordinary game plans into nightmares for opposing offenses. The timing of this alleged move is fueling speculation. With free agency heating up and the 49ers looking to tighten every gap, adding Burns could be a strategic masterstroke or a signal of a more aggressive rebuild than fans anticipated. Social media chatter is exploding, with supporters imagining highlight reels of Burns chasing down quarterbacks in Levi Stadium, while skeptics question whether the team's salary cap can actually accommodate such a high-profile addition. Whispers suggest that Burns' arrival could spark a cascade effect across the NFL, pressuring rival teams to rethink their offensive lines and protection schemes. One thing seems clear. If these rumors hold even a shred of truth, San Francisco's edge has suddenly become a force to be reckoned with. As always in the NFL, nothing is final until the ink is dry. But for now, the mere possibility of Brian Burns suiting up for the 49ers is enough to send the rumor mill into overdrive. Fans are on the edge of their seats, eagerly waiting to see whether this buzzing speculation will materialize into one of the most talked-about defensive moves of the season. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.